Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be talking about the economic decline of America. So let's see what we have for you today. And I have probably 3 posts I'm going to try to get through today. So the first post is by Kobayashi letter, and this is talking about the United States government's deficit has jumped by $1 billion in 2023, more than doubling the 2022 deficit. Okay, so that should be a major red flag. Not only is it in absolute value a major deficit, but in terms of its relative value compared to the prior year, that is a significant increase in the deficit of the United States government. So the breakdown is even more alarming. It says individual tax receipts dropped by a massive $456 billion in 2023. Okay, individual tax receipts. Okay, so I think that means they're talking about people's how much money they're making in taxes, taxable income, and so it's down by 456 million. Please let me know in the comment section if that's the wrong interpretation of that number. To put this in perspective, this drop is roughly half of the 996 billion deficit seen in 2022. Okay, net interest on debt jumped by 184 billion compared to 2022. Okay, so people are paying more interest on their debt. This means that the jump in interest spending was double the jump in Medicare spending. So people are spending more overall in terms of their interest on debt than they are on their healthcare, Medicare spending. The worst part, regional bank crisis, FDIC bailouts added 101 billion to our deficit. So how is this sustainable? So just looking at the numbers here, individual income tax receipts, it's up by 456 billion. And we see Department of Defense spending plus 49 billion, Medicare, FDIC bailouts, Social Security, net interest on debts. And the loss in revenue accounts for more than 57% of the total deficit growth. Wow, wow, wow. So let's see what else we have here. So increase in spending, decrease in deficit. Wow, yeah, it seems to be the case that America is in terminal decline across every metric, culturally, economically, militarily. Let's see what else we have on the economic front though. So let's look at what the business model of United States America Inc. is. Financial capitalism of the United States is a debt-fueled Ponzi scheme. An inevitable explosion is destined due to its exponentially expanding debt, aka money supply outpacing industrial production. Wonder why the best minds of this country go into the financial industry. So I talk about this a lot, which is the real economy versus the financial economy. And it's a matter that it's concerning that the best and brightest in America go into these jobs where really they're just moving decimal places around on a spreadsheet. They're giving money to certain people. They're really gambling in the stock market to a large extent, or they're going into kind of our federal government and just giving more money to the government, printing more money. And the best and brightest in the United States are doing that. That is their job. Instead of doing things that are tangibly beneficial to the country, they are just magic money wizards. They're making money appear out of nowhere. And places like Russia and China, on the other hand, they focus on their real economy versus the financial economy. And so they focus on people who are doing productive jobs, and they funnel their best and brightest into those productive jobs. So it goes on to say the only way to delay its explosion is to financialize foreign assets and siphon such wealth with its overprinted dollar. This tactic temporarily rebalances the asset-debt ratio. Simple math. But there is another step before they can do it cheaply, minimizing further debt accrual. They either coerce, manipulate, or bribe other nations to privatize national assets that reduce prices or use financial wars to destabilize economies and devalue foreign assets. Wow, does this sound like modern America or what? Because if you look at what they're doing in, say, Argentina, or Malay came in, he's privatizing the national assets, and people are going into massive debt. They are becoming more likely to become in poverty. It's really bad. Their currency is being inflated. And so between that and the United States waging financial wars on Russia and China, it's very clear what the United States is doing. They're trying to benefit their own currency at the expense of other currencies and eat up the various productive sectors of other economies. So it goes on to say the tactics range from aggressive marketing strategies like massive short selling to prolonged rate hikes. In Russia's case, the U.S. influenced the privatization of national resources, leading to asset transfers to the United States, followed by sanctions and asset seizures. Yes, that is completely the case. Really started in the 1990s when Russia, with open arms, said, like, listen, we are breaking up our empire. We want to be a part of the West now. Let us join NATO. We are not your enemy. We are going to westernize our economy, our government. And the United States said, sure, do all of that. Okay. And then they stabbed Russia in the back. Okay. And the oligarchs, who are of Zionist descent, let's say, in Russia, they exploited the populace and extracted their resources in order to benefit the Zionists in the West. And so the the oligarchs in Russia were primarily not ethnically Russian, they were Zionist. Moving on, says, additionally, to augment the impact of financial wars, the United States incites color revolutions in vulnerable regions, exacerbating capital flight from these victim countries, further tanking asset prices. So it's not just a matter of winning at the ballot box with people like Malay and Argentina, but also if you just create destabilization in these other countries, their currency is not going to be as valuable compared to the United States dollar. People are not going to want to invest. There's not going to be that foreign direct investment anymore. So it goes on to say they will then swoop in to gobble these assets cheaply with inflated USD. So again, the United States' entire strategy is divide and conquer, destabilization in order to exploit the populace and extract their resources. And it goes on to say, and this feast will sustain the United States economy for a few years until the cycle begins again. I hope it explains America's imperative need for world domination and why they are so upset with when someone with deep pockets has come to disrupt all these plans. And so I think just to kind of wrap up here, the United States is built around divide and conquer. The United States needs to exploit populaces of other countries because the oligarchs in charge of the American government need that in order to take over their resources, because the United States right now, it's not really a viable country. It's a failed state overall, where it's extracting its entire wealth, or the vast majority of its wealth, from just printing more money and devaluing the currencies of countries that are subservient to the United States. And that's not sustainable, especially because a country like China, which is structured around win-win cooperation, is biting at their heels and is likely to be the superpower, the sole superpower, given the terminal decline of the United States, probably by the end of this decade. Thank you so much for investing your time in watching this video. If you found the content informative, be sure to show your support by giving us an upvote. Your engagement goes a long way in boosting our visibility within the algorithm. To stay ahead on the most pressing contemporary issues, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're committed to delivering up-to-date, thought-provoking content on a daily basis, and we want you to be a part of this journey. Also, your thoughts matter to us, so please share any comments, questions, concerns, and/or critiques in the comment section below. I personally read each one and I respond when necessary. Given the nature of our content, where we expose the actions of the oligarchs who exploit the masses, intentional suppression in the algorithm is an unfortunate reality. If you believe in our mission, you can help by spreading the word. Tell your friends about our content. Let's amplify the voices of those that challenge the status quo. Speaking of amplifying voices, I need your help. As many of you know, I gave up a lucrative career in the fastest growing field and the highest paying subfield of psychology in the United States to move to the Philippines to provide content that I think is important for my viewers to hear. I left so I could avoid repercussions for speaking about topics that are taboo in the United States. This decision came with significant financial sacrifices, but your support can help sustain the work we do. Check out the links in the description for how to support our channel. Every contribution, big or small, is genuinely appreciated. Finally, as a channel, we stand with the people of Palestine. We believe in their freedom, and by supporting us, you can contribute to this shared vision. Thank you for being a part of our community. Your viewership is invaluable, and I genuinely hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.